So today is a very good day. We have the Buddha image here, we have Chief there, and we have Sanghamitta Day to be remembered, right? So yeah, like I said, before I start the talk on the Uposatha practice, I'd just like to hear from you. Any one of you would like to learn something, you can let me know. If you have anything in mind, then in the talk, then maybe I can also incorporate. All right? Yes? All right. Okay, thank you. What about others? But it's also good, you say, Sanghamitta Day. Your friend say, hey, I'm going, Sanghamitta Day. You say, okay, I also follow. What is it? I don't know. But I come. That's good. You know that something is good, right? Okay, I think we will start by sharing with you, the whole year, why we celebrate Sanghamitta Day. Sangha means the noble community, right? Mitta means friend. So friend of the Sangha, friend of the noble ones. Okay, Sanghamitta, this name was given to a person, and in the history, Sanghamitta was a bhikkhuni, and from India who have traveled to Sri Lanka. When she was young, she was born in the Madhya Pradesh, Ujjaini, in the middle of India. Okay? If I mention this name, then you will say, I know. She is the daughter of King Asoka. Okay? Have you heard King Asoka? Yes. Without King Asoka, I think there's no history of Buddhism. Yeah? So, we know that the Buddha, in the Theravada tradition, we say the Buddha was born in 623 BC, right? And after the Buddha passed into Mahaparinibbana, about 200 over years later, in 3rd BC, King Asoka was the king that took up the lead, to cleanse. He held the third council to purify the Sangha, because at that time there are already 18 schools of Buddhism. Right? So we start with Buddha Dhamma, and then after that, the Sangha was divided in the second council, and one group called Staviravada, the other group called Mahasanghika. By the time of King Asoka, which is already 3rd BC, meaning 200 over years later. Okay, first council was about 100 days after the Buddha's Parinibbana. Second council is 100 years later. Third council is around 200 over years later. So the third council, King Asoka take the initiative with consultation with the Thera, Mangaliputta monk, to take the initiative to purify the Sangha. Meaning at that time there are so many kinds of different kinds of Buddhism and belief system, and people start to incorporate ABC lah. Nowadays also a lot of ABC, right? They put a Buddha for, but they pick up some of the Buddha's teaching plus other teachings, A plus B plus C plus D, and they still claim is the Buddha's teaching. But when you ask them what is Triple Gem, they don't take refuge in the Triple Gem. What is Four Noble Truth? Not very sure. Noble Eightfold Path? More unsure. Right? So at that time already 18 schools of Buddhism, just 200 over years later. Now it's 2,600 years later. Okay? So, but all of you are very fortunate. We still are able to come to the true Dhamma, yeah, to all the good, teaching. So it's from King Asoka. King Asoka have many children. Yeah, the first two was Thera Mahinda, and then the daughter Sanghamitta Theri. Okay, so we know that Bhikkhuni order was started in Vaishali since about 6 years after the Bhikkhu order was established. So the Bhikkhu order, then the Upasika, Upasaka, and Upasika, and then the last one was the Bhikkhuni order. So after that, complete four assembly, meaning the Bhikkhu Sangha, Bhikkhuni Sangha, then the Upasaka and Upasika. Upasaka means the lay male practitioner. Then Upasika, the female lay practitioner. So this four group is very important, according to the Buddha, for the Buddha Sasana to continue to grow. Yeah, if it's short of one, also cannot, because if it's short of one, means it's not complete. So it's the Buddha's intention since it's enlightenment. Yeah, so and during the King Asoka time, after he purified the Sangha in a very simple way, when he asked, okay, who is the Buddha? What the Buddha teach? I say, if you cannot answer, then change robe. Cannot take the brown robe already. Means they don't even know what the Buddha teach. Yeah, who is the Buddha? Yeah, so after he cleansed, he really, in his country, means the place where he governed, he go through, he get all the Sangha members and screen through. Those who have wrong views or wrong idea, then he take them off. Yeah, and then from there, because at the time also the challenge come from also the revival of Brahmanism, the Hindu caste and religion. So King Asoka also take the effort to send missionary to 9 continents. So one of the continents that he sent is to Sri Lanka. Okay, others of course he sent to like Kashmir, Pakistan, at that time, and some to Burma, then Afghanistan. So many, and it was said 2 was sent to Suvarnabhumi. Suvarnabhumi covers Burma, Thailand, Malaya, top of Malaya. Yeah, so 9 missionaries at that time. So King Asoka sent the son, Mahinda to propagate Dhamma to Sri Lanka. So he brought together 6 person, 4 monks, 1 samanera, and 1 upasaka, to come to Sri Lanka to form the Sangha in Sri Lanka. So at that time, the king, same time with the King Asoka, is King Devanampiya Tissa. So he actually embraced Buddhism, and at that time, when after the Bhikkhu Sangha was formed, so then the queen, who also listened to the Dhamma talk by Mahinda Thera, was also very inspired and realized the first stage, Sotapanna. And because of that realization, she also requests to be ordained. Right? So Bhikkhu Sangha established, Upasaka also there, but there's none yet. So she requested, and Mahinda Thera, so in that case, she will invite her sister, Sanghamitta Theri, to come to ordain them. So that's how they invited Sanghamitta Theri, who's staying in India at a time, Pataliputra, if you know in the modern time, those who have gone for pilgrimage, the place is called Patna, now. And from there, they sent, of course, her father was not at the beginning, Indian custom. So still, although she's a nun, the father first was very reluctant. But Sanghamitta was very determined that since the brother already, requested, and there are so many female wants to be ordained. So Sanghamitta Theri said it is important for her to go to Sri Lanka. So you can imagine traveling, not like us, flight, few hours you reach. Yeah, in the past you take long journey. Yeah, so from there she depart. But there's also another request that the what they call King Devanampia Tissa requested, that is to also bring a sapling of the Bodhi tree. Okay, so they travel with 10 nuns and also some royal family, 8 of them, 8 ministers, they say, then 8 traders, all the castes, all 8, yeah. But why 8, I don't know. Chinese said lucky number. Yeah. Then they travel all together, and the king actually sent minister, Prince Arita, to relay the message. But it's interesting. Even Prince Arita said, I will go and invite on one condition. After they come already, then I will become a monk. Then only I go. See how they are so passionate to renounce, to practice the Dhamma. So they came with the Bodhi tree, and the Bodhi tree was planted in Anuradhapura. And this is the oldest tree in the world. So you should know, as Buddhists, the oldest tree in the world is the Bodhi tree. And it's still alive at Anuradhapura. Right? It was planted by the king with celebration. And why is it so important, Bodhi tree? Yeah. So when you see the Bodhi tree, the first thing come to your mind is what? Buddha sat there and attained enlightenment. You see, the word enlightenment will come up to your mind. Yeah. So this is how the Buddha, at the beginning, even when people ask how to venerate the Buddha, at that time there's no image. Yeah. So the Buddha started the feature that can relate to enlightenment. First, the Buddha encouraged them to plant Bodhi tree. Yeah. So why? Because when you remember that tree, then you remember enlightenment. Yeah. So when the Buddha traveled a lot, yeah. So Bodhi tree, until now, we can say, is brought by Sanghamitta Theri from India to Sri Lanka. Yeah. And also the tooth relic actually was brought by female to Sri Lanka. Yeah. Hide in the hair and travel from India to Sri Lanka. So these 2 very sacred objects was actually transmitted from the motherland to Sri Lanka. And it was in Sri Lanka that Buddhism was brought back to India after it was lost for about 600 years. Yeah. All right. So that's some background how this Sanghamitta Theri went to Sri Lanka, and how from there Buddhism was started for the fourfold assembly, the Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, and the Upasaka, Upasika. So the Queen Anula, and they said about 1,000 ladies from all kinds, all levels of society, and also all ages. Yeah, they renounce and take, after the Babaja going forth, they take higher ordination. So since then, the Buddhism was flourished in Sri Lanka. Yeah, all right. So from that day onwards up to now, is this teaching has been preserved, very intact. Even scholars has agreed, yeah, that the Pali Tipitaka, yeah, it was brought during that time by oral tradition from India. By the time of King Asoka, there's already additional basket that is added in. In the beginning, the Buddha only have Buddha, the teaching of Dhamma, and then the rules, discipline, that is called Vinaya. So in the sutta, you can see these two words, Buddha, at the end means after his parinibbana, the Buddha said, take the Dhamma, Vinaya as your teacher. Okay? So, but then during King Asoka's time, we know that there's another additional, what they call basket that is added in, that is called Abhidhamma. Okay? So, the main one is Dhamma, so which is in the sutta. Then the second one, to regulate good discipline, to control the thoughts and behavior, the Buddha promulgate the Vinaya, the discipline. Yeah? And then during King Asoka's time, it was compiled Abhidhamma. Because after the Buddha passed into parinibbana, of course, like now even, right, we have a lot of scholars. So they study and they try to compile, yeah, different topics, different teachings. And of course, later compilation, sometimes there might be a little bit of addition, interpretation of the compiler. So we have mainly the sutta, 5 Nikayas. Yeah. So the first one is called Digha Nikaya, a long collection, long discourses. Second one is called Majjhima Nikaya, which is middle discourses. That one is called Samyutta Nikaya, is by chapter. Let's say you talk about jhana, then all things about jhana. If you talk about devas, all the subject about devas. Yeah? So like that, by chapter, means by special theme. Then the fourth one is Anguttara Nikaya. Anguttara Nikaya is by numeric, like 3, let's say you said about 3. What are trees? 3 characteristics. And then 3 for training, all the 3. 4 noble truth. Then 4 Brahma Viharas, all the 4. Okay? So that's numeric teaching. So it's a very systematic way to remember the teaching of the Buddha. And then the fifth one is Khuddaka Nikaya, supposed to be the smallest collection, but have 15 volumes. Yeah. So, but when they look into the research on this sutta, they said half of it, like some like Dhammapada, Suttanipata, Therigatha, Theragata, yeah, and a few others. Yeah, these are in line with the 4 main sutta. There are others, a few others, that is, some of the content of the teaching are not very in line with the 4 main suttas. So this could be the, let's say, interpolation, the later addition, even in oral tradition. Okay? So it was only written down. Yeah? In the past, that's why sometimes people ask us, Reverend, why should we chant? You know, chanting is an oral tradition since before pre-Buddhism, because there's no paper, no pen, so people remember by hearing, and then they recite, As they recite, they hear, they recite, they remember, then they learn the meaning and they can put into practice. So when you recite and recite, you know, in your mind, you remember what to do, how to behave, how to take care of your mind or speech or body, right? So that is where oral tradition is very important. And this is where like daily chanting is a very good practice. So you remember, you chant the Pali, then you read the English, right? If you are like more Chinese one, you chant the Pali, then you read the Chinese meaning. Then day by day, you try to understand and remember what it is. Okay, all right. So this is the way, oral tradition, and it was recorded in around 1 BC. Means about 400 old years later, nearly 500 years later. Oral tradition. Huh? So now it's all in computer, digital form. Yeah. Now people also don't remember. You want anything, you go and press one button. Then we ask, what is, let's say, Karanametta Sutta? Few years already you chant and chant, but still you cannot recite. So means you don't remember. Understand? All right. Okay, like this better? Oh, okay, good. Thank you. Yeah. All right, so this is just a little bit of background, yeah, on the how Buddhism was spread and in what form, yeah, the content that we have, and the transmission, yeah, from the fourfold Sangha, and the active part, yeah, of the female Sangha, who also continue to propagate the Dhamma. All right? So Sanghamitta Day is a day where we remember Bhikkhuni Sanghamitta, who was the first missionary, yeah, female missionary to go overseas, very, very far to spread the Dhamma. All right? So in the history, we know that Queen Maha Pajapati, right, was the first also to go very far. From Kusinara, follow the Buddha, walk, you know how far? Kusinara to Vaishali? Nearly 300 over kilometers. They are the royal queens and princes and all stay, you know, in a palace. But to embark that journey, very determined. You know, female are very determined. When they really want something, they go all the way. Yeah, and at the end, of course, you know, with reasoning, with their determination, yeah, they are able to fulfill those wishes. Although in the society, there may be a lot of hindrances, a lot of maybe sometimes some prejudice, sometimes some due to certain traditions. They are not able to do so at the beginning, but due to their persistency, determination, yeah. Even we hear the story of Maha Prajapati Gautami, yeah, and a group of the nuns. Even before the Buddha give them ordination, they are already shaven their head, wearing the robe. The only thing is the consent and the blessing, right? And of course, having considered all things, the Buddha finally gave them the ordination. Yeah, and so it's from there the Bhikkhuni order thrive. And we know that in the sutta, the Buddha also praised some bhikkhunis. Yeah, if you can see in the Therigatas, their qualities, their practice are also as good as the Arahant bhikkhu. And so through that journey, then of course, during King Asoka means 200 over years later, means the Bhikkhuni order also thrived very well. Yeah, and from there, the missionary from India traveled also thousands of kilometers down south to Sri Lanka, right? And it was said in the Chinese history record. There's one, a Bhikkhuni from Sri Lanka, around 4 to 5 AD. They travel, a group of them, but led by this Bhikkhuni Devasara. They travel to China to ordain Bhikkhuni in China. And then from there, of course, after some time, China's emperor, they were involved in all these things. And there are many different ordination lineage at that time. But with the involvement of the, king, they only adopt one particular lineage that's called Dhamma Guptaka, lineage to ordain monks and nuns in China. So now you have 3 kinds of ordination. That is Theravada, and then you have Dhammaguptaka. Theravada means it's Sri Lanka, Burma, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia. Dhammaguptaka is mostly practiced by China, Korea, Japan, Vietnam. Then another one is called Mola Sarvastivada, which is practiced by the Tibetan. Okay, so now means in our present time, there are 3 kinds of ordination, means lineage. So we know that from beginning, Kui Maha Prajapati, when she was ordained, she also traveled very far, to be ordained with a group of nuns. And then the next one, of course, Sanghamitta, went to Sri Lanka with 10 Bhikkhunis, and they also started. And it was in about 11 to 12 AD, due to war, then the Bhikkhuni order disappeared. Even the monks in Sri Lanka at that time also, because due to war. Later they re-established. For the monks, the Bhikkhu in Sri Lanka, they re-established the Bhikkhu order in around 18 to 19 AD. And the Bhikkhuni one is only recently, about 20 years ago, 1998. It started in 1996, but 1998 officially, the Bhikkhuni order was revived again. All right? So now, like I said, this is just a background for you to know where we come from, how far we have traveled, how far we are still very true to the Dhamma, or how far we have changed to certain practice and tradition. So these are some of the, like I said, the changes in culture, tradition, architecture, and many things. Even when you have, now we have hymn song, So people change, and the way we record our Tipitaka also change according to time, right? Now, how do we understand the practice of the Dhamma? Actually, the Dhamma that Buddha teach is not just for the mere learning. The Buddha is very much a practice. Buddha Dhamma, practice. So if we learn a lot, the Buddha said, but we don't put into practice, then they say just merely learning a lot, but not practicing is of no use. Because you say, I know, but you still behave the other way around. A lot, you say, when you tell your children, you say, I know. But they behave the other way around. We also say, I know. When we are reminded. But again, why are we reminded? Because we don't practice as what we know. Right? This is where important to learn, to understand. So as a learner, the Buddha said we must have this attitude of learning. Number one, when we learn, the Buddha said first, you look to the teacher, and you have confidence to learn from them, right? And so next, what you do when you have confidence, you have opportunity to meet Sangha and to learn, so you make effort to go and see them, Just say, okay lah, today you come. So you make effort to come. Okay, after coming already, what is your next step? You come already, right? Good effort. Okay, the next step, you must approach the Sangha. So after you approach, then you must lend your ear. Lend your ear, but don't daydreaming. You must lend your ear means you pay attention through your ear to listen. Yeah? And even to listen, don't just listen, must listen attentively. So the moment you feel like, oh, groggy, tired, then you must keep your body upright. Take deep breathing, then breathe out a bit stronger, few times. So you make your body upright again, and then, okay, pay attention again, all right? So listen attentively, and after listen attentively, you try to grasp the meaning, the meaning of what you listen. Before that, another process you need to do is, after you listen attentively, you should try to remember it. Remember. You may not be able to remember a lot, but you try to remember what you hear. Okay? Then come up with a meaning, or try to understand what it is. And if not, remember, later must investigate, means ask question. So then you can understand fully. All right? A lot of time I sometimes test people. At the end of the talk, I say, what do you learn? Then I start to think, what? Do you also experience that sometimes? When your friend or your family member asks you, hey, what do you learn? Or what is the Dhamma talk about? Then suddenly you start to think, don't know what. It happens, right? Sometimes. So means during that time, we are not really paying attention, trying to find out the meaning. And also if we are not very clear, we must ask. So then at least we go back with something, so we can remember, get the meaning, and then investigate, ponder, and then understood. So then you put into practice. Into practice. Already immediately can put into practice. Dhamma don't have to wait one. Every moment we can practice. All right? So that is an attitude of learning. And for today, uposatha, this word, uposatha. Uposatha, I said, Sanghamitta Day was celebrated on Uposatha Day. So in Sri Lanka, it's still practiced. And this tradition has been revived again, I think by Maha Bodhi Society in Sri Lanka. Was started by Anarika Dhammapala to revive the Buddha Dhamma in Sri Lanka, and also in India. Today, if some of you go for pilgrimage, we have to be thankful to a lot of people. You are born at the right time. Do you know if you are born 600 years ago, in between that, you are not able to see all these places. Can't even go. Can't even enter. So we are all actually very fortunate to be born this time. Those places are just reclaimed, the 4 holy sites, just reclaimed. About 100 years. Truly that people can go in. It's about maybe 1949 they started, but that was still very, very old, very, very unattended. It's only recently years where you can find a very nice place. You can see the stupa. You can really sit down there and embrace the sanctity of the place where the Buddha thrived before. Right? So in Sri Lanka, the Maha Bodhi Society revived this celebration to commemorate the importance of the journey made by Sanghamitta Theri to Sri Lanka. And as we know that the mere planting of the Bodhi tree and the care for the Bodhi tree until today shows that not we just care for the tree, okay? We care for the Buddha Sasana. Yeah? Maybe people think, why are we revering the tree? Yeah? We are not revering the tree. Yeah? The tree is a very powerful message, yeah? For the journey of enlightenment, because that's what we call the enlightenment tree. Okay? Because of course the Buddha's body has passed into parinibbana, but the spirit of enlightenment, yeah, it is there through this generation by generation. Okay? And so Uposatha Day, we begin with, in the past, in the sutta, this observation was also pre-Buddhistic before the Buddha. Yeah? Other schools of teaching, they also have this practice of Uposatha. Yeah? What it means is to restrain, yeah? Uposatha, the meaning is, upavasa means to refrain from enjoyment, to refrain from sensual desires. So this uposatha means this particular practice. Means in your 1 month you dedicate this day to learn to come to basic again, to be down to earth, to look into your own mind, to free your mind from defilements, or to purify your mind. Right? So got check and balance, so you don't go off track too far. Yeah? So in the Buddhist time, also that's why people say, how come the monks or nuns, they don't have any specific day together? So then the Buddha also set this particular practice during the full moon and new moon for the monks and nuns, for them to gather together, and the community to come together to recite Patimokkha, yeah? To recite all the rules and discipline. So the monks have 227, the nuns have 311. So during that time, they will go through among themselves. Yeah, we call it the process of purification of the mind. Yeah, so if you have done anything wrong at that time, you should confess. Yeah, so confession is one of the important practice in the Buddha's teaching. It means when you do wrong, you must know. Yeah, and you must also confess, because when you confess, don't you think that when you confess, you will feel a bit of shame? And from there, when we do repentance, means we admit our wrongdoing, and at the same time, we return to good. Means not to do the mistake again. Yeah? So confession is a very powerful practice. Just like in your daily chanting, sometimes you chant, Kayena Vacha Chittena. So you don't just chant, Kayena Vacha Chittena, I enjoy chanting, but what is the meaning? Don't know. So next round when you chant Kayena Vacha Chittena, you really reflect from your heart anything that you have done wrong to the Buddha, Dhamma, to the Sangha, or to anyone. You seek for forgiveness. Yeah, sincerely. Don't just merely chant. Yeah, so very important in our practice. Yeah, so repentance means admit our wrongdoing, or confess, and then return to good. Yeah, and this confession, repentance, and during this time, this is a time where they also have this check and balance. When any like greed, hatred, or delusion is arising, so 14 days later, you come back. Means you don't stray away so far. So every 14 days. So this is where during the Buddha's time, all the monks and nuns, they are very pure. Even for thought, speech, or bodily actions. Yeah, so they will do this Patimokkha recital together. Yeah, when we said they have a group of Sangha, at least 4, yeah, they will chant. Okay, and during the Buddhist time also, at one time, when they have this Uposatha, and when everybody confess already, purified, then only recite the Patimokkha. So at one time, the Buddha was very quiet. After Venerable Ananda requests 3 times for the Buddha to start reciting the Patimokkha, the Buddha was silent. So everybody was curious why the Buddha did not recite. And then, after that, this Mahamongkalana Thera, he knows that in the assembly, one of them is not pure. Means the monk do something wrong, but he didn't confess. So after they requested him, since he is not confessing, so he should leave the assembly. But he still refused. And no other choice, Mahamongkalana have to get him out from the assembly. Yeah, that is how they maintain the purity of the mind and the body. And since that incident, after that, the Buddha actually assigned the senior monks. They can appoint among them to recite. Right? So we can see the gradual, how to say it, when people come to the Dhamma without a sincere heart, then of course, the purity will be tarnished. So it is very important. So that's why the Uposatha still is a practice for the monks and nuns, and not only for the monks and nuns, also for the lay people. Yeah, for them also to purify their mind. Yeah, although they are leading a lay life, but they also can practice some good practice to also help themselves to gradually practice the higher Dhamma. All right. Sorry? No, it's actually in this Anguttara Nikaya. Yeah. All right, so that is for the monks and nuns. So for the lay person, we also practice during Uposatha day. So Uposatha day, then they will specifically rededicate, means a day, to come down, to quiet down, to look into their life. A lot of, nowadays modern life, by the time you realize it's 1 year, 10 years past. I've met people, they come to me and say, Reverend, last time I was learning and practicing. After I get married already, 10 years later, I realized that I have to come back to Dhamma. Yeah. So can you imagine? After 10 years see? So, Uposatha, that's why we make it a good practice. Don't wait after 10 years. You're already old. After 2 weeks, you should come back. So then you don't go off track. Right? So this Uposatha, that's why it's so important. So during the Buddha's time, then during this time, beside straightening their discipline, they also take this opportunity to impart Dhamma to the monks and to the nuns, and also to the lay people, just like what we are practicing now. Yeah. So you will dedicate 1 day, and then you come, and then people will practice. They observe the sila, and then they listen to the Dhamma. Then they also practice mindfulness and to look within their own mind. So if any defilements, then they do the cleansing. Yeah. So during that time, there's another time when this Lady Visakha, the foremost in giving alms among the lay people, the female, she also practiced Uposatha. So one day she came to the place where she donated for the Buddha, for the Sangha to stay. And so the Buddha was asking her, so Lady Visakha said, oh, that day she's practicing Uposatha. So the Buddha said to Lady Visakha, how one should practice Uposatha. So you can see which Uposatha you're practicing sometime. Yeah? So the Buddha said there are 3 kinds of Uposatha. Okay? The first kind of Uposatha is, they call it cowherd Uposatha. So during the Uposatha, cowherd, C-O-W-H-E-R-D. You know the cowherd? Those jaga lembu. So what they do, the Buddha said, when the Uposatha, they gather together, they sit together, and they will talk. After the end of the day, they will sit down and talk. And then they'll say, hey, I bring my cow to go where to eat, and they drink at where I go to which spot. Tomorrow, I'm going to bring my cow to another spot and go there and makan and drink, So they will talk like that. So the Buddha said, if you observe your Uposatha like that, also we can understand. People gather together, Uposatha. Hey, what do you eat? Hey, where to eat very nice food? Where? Ipo chicken kai or tauge kai or tauge chicken, or you go where to eat what, and very nice. And then before eating also you quickly shoot the photo and you send WhatsApp. So some Uposatha are like that. They gather together, but they talk about where they go makan, minum, enjoy themselves. Have you seen that kind of Uposatha? Very common. Do you also practice that Uposatha? Better not. The Buddha say, if you practice Uposatha like that, it's of no great fruit, no great benefit, no great glory, no great radiance. So that is one kind of Uposatha. Okay? So please do not practice that kind of Uposatha. Yeah? And the second Uposatha, the Buddha said, is the Uposatha at that time, like they call it Nigantas, another school. And so they ask their disciple to practice Uposatha. But what they do during the Uposatha, they tell them, because this giant, they are called naked ascetic. So for their lay people, when they come for Uposatha, they told their disciple, okay, today you lay down all rods, not to kill anything, anyone, any beings. But they have a boundary because they are a community of them. Not kill like, to the west, east, south, like 100 miles away. But the Buddha said, only to their specific community. But what about others? So they are having Uposatha, they seem to be very kind, but only to certain specific beings, area, okay? But not to all. The other thing that they will say to their disciple is, okay, today all of you strip off whatever you wear, okay? They are naked ascetic, so they want their lay people also strip off all their clothes. So they say, you must say to yourself, I'm of nothing, coming out from anything or of anything. So you must declare that during your Uposatha. So they strip off their clothes, nothing. So I'm nothing of anything. And they claim to be, nothing is theirs. Right? But the Buddha said, during the Uposatha, among them, they know this is my father, this is my wife, this is my children, this is my worker, or this is my boss. How can they say like that? One statement, they declare that they are nothing of anything, from nothing or from anything. Nothing is mine. But in the assembly, they know, this is my wife. They still talk like, So the Buddha say, instead of practicing truthfulness, they are not practicing truthfulness, they are practicing falsehood. Right? Then they say, nothing. They say, when after the Uposatha at night, they go back, they will claim back everything without people giving them back. So the Buddha said, if you practice this kind of Uposatha too, yeah, is of not great fruit, not great benefit. Because one end you say like that, second side you do different way. Yeah, so it won't bring you benefit or good fruit, yeah, or good glory or radiance. Means you will not be transformed, right? So this is the second type of uposatha. Yeah. So the third kind of uposatha, the Buddha said, is the uposatha of the noble ones. So how is this uposatha of the noble ones being practiced? So the first one, the Buddha said, it is practiced with proper technique. And when we say uposatha of the Aryans, uposatha of the noble ones, what it means is a uposatha for the cleansing of the defilements in the mind. Okay, this is what is called uposatha of the noble ones. So when you say, oh, I go for uposatha, and so next time you must know, uposatha of the noble ones means, is the cleansing of the defilement of the mind through proper way, proper technique. Yeah? Not anything. Yeah? Also have a proper way. Okay? And because how? We would say when you do it correctly, it will bring about calmness and joy that will arise in your mind. And that is how it will transform you to a higher state of mind where you are free from hindrances. Yeah? When you have clear mind, calm mind, sharp mind, happy mind, your mind becomes very powerful. Okay? So you can do greater things for the mind. Okay? So this is uposatha of the noble ones. So how to practice? The first, the Buddha said, what you can do is to recall to mind or to ponder upon the qualities of the Buddha. Right? So when you bring to mind about the Buddha, what comes to you? When you just think the Buddha, the word Buddha, what comes to your mind? Can you share with me? Wisdom, virtue, even looking at the image. What comes to your mind? Tranquility, some more? Discipline, compassion, anything else? Equanimity, any more? Peace. Any more? Just look only at the image, right? Yeah. So can you imagine? That's why the Buddha said, when we, sometimes people ask, oh, Reverend, should we really put an image? And the most challenging is when the people challenge the Buddhists worship images, idols. Have you heard? You know how to answer? You know, when I go to youth camp, I share with the youth because, right, sometimes we Buddhists, we sometimes didn't teach our children well to understand the Buddhist tradition and what images is all about, and whether is it true Buddhists worship idols. And I ask the youth, I always say, what do you think? In which religion don't have image on? I say, Hindu God or not? They say, yeah, a lot. Buddhist God or not? Yes. What about Christian? Then they think. Yes. So what are the image they have? Cross law. Jesus Christ on the cross law. Then some more. Mother Mary law. Image or not? Image. What about Islam? I say, God or not? Now you pause. Like God, like don't have. Like have, like don't have. I say, okay, for Muslim, where do they, when they sembahyang, when they pray, where do they pray to? Yeah, you call it Qiblat, right? From the Qiblat to where? To Mecca. Okay, to where? Kaaba. What is Kaaba? Image. Okay. So which religion don't have image? But what is the function of image? Presumably you come in to the Maha Vihara, there's no images at all. In the past, okay, but nowadays, if you have no images at all, you come in, what will you do? Maybe you just sit around, don't know what to do. There's no focus point, focal point, right? So you see, the physical is just a symbolic, a focal point, a focus point for us to reconnect. But per se, we are not taking it as something that we are attached to, but that we can start to focus, and from that focus, we reflect back into our own mind, right? So people can gather together to focus. So it is very important to understand. So even as adults or as parents or grandparents, please explain to your children or grandchildren. Because or else, when they don't understand, people say that they pray to idol, then they may think so, and that's where they don't know how to appreciate and learn the Dhamma, right? Which is so good, so beautiful, so powerful for life, but we miss the boat, right? So very important. So they said image. So in this, the Buddha said, when we remember the Tathagata, the Tathagata means the Buddha, we can remember, I say, even though you don't mention the 9 qualities, you always chant, right? Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddha. But in the simple form, just now you mentioned all the virtues, you can very quickly recollect. The Buddha is so wise, so compassionate, so peaceful, so tranquil, so equanimous, so many things, right? But the Buddha specifically have these 9 qualities, very powerful qualities. So we say Arahang, right? Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijjacharana Sampano Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarati Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati. Okay? So quickly, because there are so many that we can practice, but just for you to know, means the Buddha is the worthy one. Worthy here means he's free totally from defilements. The worthy one, totally free from any kinds of defilements, from greed, hatred, delusion. Samma Sambuddho means by making his effort, strong determination, he rediscover this Dhamma, this truth. Okay? And Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarati. So his quality is surpassed because his conduct is totally pure. There's no bad intention at all, any ill intention, none of that. So his conduct is very pure. And then the insight that he has into the truth is very deep, very profound. I mean, not our time. I mean, the Buddha is the greatest in that profound teaching, realization. And now scientists start to discover bit by bit, okay? And then he's a teacher, teacher of gods and men. We only say teacher of men, right? But he's a teacher of gods and men. So then he knows the 3 worlds. We only know the world around us. Even we travel to so many countries, but still don't know what is the world. Right? 3 worlds means the world, the human, all the realms of existence, whether it's human or the lower one, animals, ghosts, hell or the devas, different realms of the devas, the Buddha knew. Yeah? What are they? How are they? How to practice that can go there? And then how to prevent not to go there. Right? So the Buddha knew. That's why the Buddha can teach very profoundly. Yeah? So of course he's blessed in many, many ways. Yeah? And exalted also. Right? So the qualities of the Buddha. So if you can ponder, you can take one to just recite and ponder that quality. Yeah? And then you connect how you can practice that quality just like the Buddha. Yeah? So for example, if you talk about metta, I say metta, Buddha's compassion, love, kindness. So you can recollect all the stories and what happened during the Buddha's time, how he handled those challenges. For example, we know that metta, during the Buddha's time, Devadatta wants to kill the Buddha, right? Did the Buddha fight back? How did the Buddha face the situation? Did he talk back about Devadatta? But 3 times Devadatta tried to kill him. Yeah? So can we practice like that? We try to. Don't say no. try to. Yeah? Isn't it? Like even when we know the metta again, when even they send Nalagiri to attack the Buddha, yeah, but by practicing metta, by spreading metta, the Buddha is able even to tame the drunkard elephant. Instead of charging the Buddha, the elephant kneeled down to pay respect to the Buddha. See how powerful is metta, right? So when you recall to mind, the Buddha, you remember all this. So when sometimes you get angry or sometimes you are challenged with certain things, then you say, if the Buddha can make it, I think I also can. Yeah. So this is how, when you have a very strong icon, strong teacher to emulate, then the standard of your mind also increases. Yeah. So that's why the Buddha said, the first blessing is don't associate with the fools. Associate with the wise. Because if you associate with the fools, you always have problems, an endless problem. So once you don't associate, you already have the blessing. When you associate with the wise, you uplift your mind with more and more good qualities because you have someone to emulate. And you know that it can be done because that person is like that. Yeah? So when we have Buddha in mind, this is how we practice. So anytime when you face with something, then you recall to mind the Buddha. In other tradition, they have this recitation every day, right? So like Pure Land, they will just do the recitation of the Buddha's name. In Theravada also we have some people will use beat to recite Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. But when you recite, your mind, speech and bodily action must together. You don't say, here Buddha, there nasi lemak. That one not in line. So when you recite, the more you feel connected. Yeah, all the qualities, like just now you say, wow, wisdom. How your heart will start to open up. Because why? All this word, even the word itself will affect your mind. Yeah. You try to use the word, let's say suddenly somebody scold you, stupid. Wow. Your heart start to bounce already. Only one word, Yeah. Do you see how the difference? So when you see the Buddha, even the Buddha image, it brings about the calmness. Yeah. So if you're at home, you have a shrine, remember to attend to your shrine. Every day look at the Buddha, smile. So you smile with the Buddha. Right? Start the day. Serene, happy. Composed. So some people, they have shrine, but they never attend to the shrine. 1 week only, 1 month, CCC, dusty already, okay. So means 1 month, here also dusty 1 month, haven't cleaned. You see or not the reflection? Yeah. So the image serves some purpose. Yeah. And it is good sometimes to remind ourselves. So when look at it, then we practice what is good. Some people like to put a Buddha image in their office. So when they carry out their work, then if there's anything that is against maybe the sila, they look at the Buddha image, better don't do what they say. It reminds, it helps to remind. So the Buddha said, when you can ponder, and you can bring to mind the Buddha's quality, then it will bring calmness and joy. When you reflect that time, the defilements, greed, hatred, delusion doesn't enter to your mind. So just when you listen to the Dhamma or when you look at the Buddha, just when I ask, the moment you say peace, so happy. Compassion, you feel something. So at that moment, is there any defilements? No. Something good is happening. So when you keep planting, then more goodness will come. More calmness, more joy, more happiness. So defilement is discarded at that time. Okay? So this is one way the Buddha said. So when you can ponder, during Uposatha, you can take this as your object of reflection. So it will bring, the Buddha say, great fruit, great benefit, great glory, and great radiance. So if you only ponder 1 minute, you can sustain 1 minute, you only get 1 minute fruit. If you can sustain 1 hour, then you can get 1 hour fruit. Right? So this is where, again, you come back. What is this Uposatha about? Is for the to cleanse the defilements of the mind. So the more you can do, the more it cleanses, the more pure your mind is. All right? So the second one, what you can use? The Dhamma. The Dhamma got 6 qualities. So you say the Dhamma is well expounded. Sanditiko means immediately can bring you result. Just I ask you one question, you answer straight. At that moment you feel that happiness. Very immediate result, no need to wait one. Cause in fact very, very fast. Right? Then timeless. During the Buddha's time, if you get angry, your face become red. Now modern time, if you get angry, your face also become red. Same thing, right? But if you have love in your heart, the face become radiant, happy. Last time, 2,600 years, same. Now also, if you smile, happy, yes, same, radiant, the face. Right? So, the Dhamma is timeless. It's not per text. It's real in our life. So, Sanditiko, Akaliko, Ehipasiko, inviting investigation. Just I just told you, right? After you lend your ear, you listen attentively, then remember, and then try to digest, find the meaning, then investigate further if you are not fully comprehending. Then, because when you investigate, just like science, you do experiment to confirm something through your learning and experience. Then you know, this is how it is. This is true. Or else, hearsay only. Now a lot of hearsay and very dangerous. When people look at one WhatsApp, don't know whether it's true or not true, hearsay, they just one button, they go and push so many people. And then a lot of people wasting time at hearsay. Right? So, very important. If you don't know it's true, stop it there. So, Dhamma, like I say, need investigation. If you don't find it true and know the way how to present it, it's better to stop it there. So no point passing untruth things around because we don't know actually what is behind and we can't change anything at a time. So the best is to practice our pure mind. Then Ehipasiko Panayiko means onward leading. The Dhamma, when you practice, is already leading, onward leading. And for the wise, to realize. When the Buddha first preached, the Buddha said, not all beings got little dust in the eye. A lot of beings have a lot of dust in their eyes. Now worse, a lot of haze around us. So no dust also got dust. Right? You are pure, but your environment, a lot of dust. So you got to isolate yourself sometimes. Keep in solitude. Yeah. Right? A lot of dust, isn't it? Sometimes you don't want to go out, you prevent yourself from the dust, but the dust also come into your house. Yeah. Yeah. Not very easy. You don't have to go out, right? All the dust. Yeah. Okay. So this is where you have to be very aware. So Dhamma, again, when you contemplate on the Dhamma also, you find that certain action you do brings about your happiness. Yeah. Like sometimes I find a lot of people, when they do dana, you see in their face so much happiness. Yeah. The action of giving. Yeah. So much happiness. Yeah. But of course, when they think of coming to meditation, they think twice. They should have greater happiness. Because why? For meditation, higher merit, higher, more higher than what they call dana. But it takes gradual practice. But you should also aim for that. Investigation of your own mind. How to tame your mind by doing nothing. No need to run around to be happy. Right? Okay? So that is 6 qualities of the Dhamma. So when you contemplate, again the Buddha said, it will bring joy and happiness. What is good teaching? And from the good teaching you realize, then it brings about calmness, joy. So that's why the Buddha said, by then, again, your defilements is cleansed, purged off. At that moment, there's no defiled things in your head, in your mind. Right? And then the third, you can contemplate on the Sangha. The Sangha got 9 qualities. Okay? So we said the Sangha is of good conduct. So they practice the training, the threefold training. And threefold training means what? Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Okay? So of good conduct, they follow the practice. Upright conduct means they keep their discipline well. And then wise conduct, meaning they are aiming for liberation. So day by day, gradually they are cleansing more and more and more towards Nibbana. Okay? And then the fourth one, dutiful conduct. So their duty is basically to purify their mind and also at the same time to practice all those good quality that is in a person that can be helpful for themselves, for their community, and for the people who support them, right? And for all beings. Okay? So then they also have the, that's why we said they are worthy of gift, of hospitality, of offerings and salutation. So those are the qualities. So when you practice, you too, when people see you wearing the sila, such, they also feel respectful. That's why sometimes you see your friend, automatically they put their hand like that. Today you are more holy. Yeah? See, you're not, just by doing that, you invite that kind of respectful, what they call behavior, and the peace in mind that today is a sacred day, we should practice good. Right? So, Sangha, and of course the last part, we say the Sangha are the field of merits for the world. Yeah? So when the Sangha practice well, when people look at the Sangha, whether monks, nuns, or lay people who are in practice, they also start to have that heart, the qualities of the mind that is respectful and sportive and moving towards what is good and pure, and also avoid what is unwholesome. Okay? So, very easy, right? Just recall to mind. Today, you got time, all day. So you can pick up either the Buddha, the Dhamma, Sangha. Okay? That is the 3. The next one, you can also do during Uposatha day. you can also recall to mind all the good virtue that you have done. All the good virtue. When you say virtue, you can actually look back in the past until now. When you say virtue, basically refer to your precepts, principle of life. This principle of life is very important. Yeah, the Buddha said, even you see, you take refuge in the triple gem, right? And 5 precepts. You know how great is that or not? The Buddha said, by doing this, now you practice 8 precepts or more. Got 3 bonus. Yeah? This is, the Buddha said, you are giving the world the immeasurable gifts. What gifts? The gifts of fearlessness. The gift of freedom from hostility. The gift of freedom from oppression. So when you go back today, anything also, wow, very patient, very goody. You give the best gift. Because imagine, every day if someone come back to your home, start shouting, showing black face, what do you think? When you see others, it's very easy. When you see yourself, sometimes you don't know. So you see, by even observing this, you are giving a great gift to immeasurable beings. And by giving this, you also partake one part of this. Because you give. So you also partake this. Give. So then you can see, in a house, if everybody keep this, isn't it very beautiful? Huh? Nobody harm, nobody kill, nobody take what is not theirs. They are very faithful to each other. They talk very pleasantly, truthfully, beautifully. Yeah? They talk with smile, then beneficially. Yeah? And then they keep their mind serene, helpful, clear. Yeah? So isn't it very beautiful? Yeah, it's only sometimes we forget. Right? So with this, the Buddha said, you already give to the world immeasurable gifts. Maybe birthday, you don't give even the giver, is okay. But if you can give this is even more, immeasurable gift. You may give a Rolex, okay lah, 50,000. But what is that? After that, give a black face. Spoil, right? I like to share with people, one time, last time when I was working, even the gift of speech. So sometimes we unnoticedly, we might practice certain things which is not very helpful. Last time I have a colleague, I don't know where she picked up the words. After some time, she used to say this word in Hokkien, if you know Hokkien. Suddenly, like Malay, we say Malata like that. Suddenly, say something, she will say, hey, Gao Sai. Or else she will say, Gao Sai means dog shit. English, people always say what? Bullshit. Yeah. Chinese, they say dog shit. And then sometimes you say, Aya, Uya. Uya means crow. These 2 words, good word or not? Even English word, the bullshit, good word or not? But do you all say? Sometimes. Maybe you minus the bull, but you still say the shit. Are you aware or not? Yeah. So, at the time I was thinking, how can I help her? Because I know that word is not very nice to say. When you encounter with people, suddenly say something, then shit like that. You try to watch your mind. Suddenly your mind paused. Yeah. And I say, why you say like that? Although it's like so common, but really, your mind will still react or still feel, hey, how come? So one day when she was talking to me, I thought, this is the right time I want to tell her. So again, suddenly she said, dog shit again. So I took the opportunity and said, I say, you dress so nicely, you make up so beautifully, but the moment you say, touch it, the whole thing gone. Then suddenly she wake up, she realized. Then I told her, I said, not so nice, those words. I said, but never mind, next time, if you really want to say, when I say, you say, 阿弥陀佛. Then she smiled, but then she make effort. So sometimes we say, 阿弥陀佛. Nicer to hear, no? Yeah. So this is where sometimes we are not aware. You see or not? Even the fourth precept, if you can keep it well, that is beautiful. You are already giving immeasurable gift for others, to be, to experience that freedom from oppression, freedom from hostility, and freedom from fear. And especially parents, very important. Sometimes we also, maybe we acquired from our grandparents. Some Chinese, they like to sometimes say to the children, or some people, no use. That is very, very horrible word. You tarnish their whole dignity sometimes. So don't say all this word. It's very harmful word. So watch before it comes out. The Buddha said, reflect. This will affect me or not? Will bring about affliction to me or to the other one or not? Will bring harm or not? So you got to reflect, whether to you, to that person, or to both. If yes, don't say. But in case you say, in the middle of saying, suddenly you remember, hey, Buddha said, reflect. Again you say, this is no good, stop quickly. The person may be thinking, why you stop? You know enough. So, not wholesome, quickly stop. The Buddha say, if really terlepas, then after that you reflect again, ponder again. So if no good, next time don't do it. So that is how you purify our mind. Not say just in the jungle quietly like that. Every day, the opportunity of purification of mind is happening, right? So of course today specifically, but every day you should incorporate, right? So your virtue, so that's why this even 5, like I said, now you have 8, you got 3 bonus point, and so when we practice virtue, like I say, sometimes we think, is it because only Buddhists have to take 5 precepts or 8 precepts? What do you think? Is it apply only to Buddhists? Some people say, I don't want to take the precept. So they think they are free to do what they like to do. Are they free from the resultant of their action? No, right? Now you look at this 5 precepts, for example, we say 5 precepts, right? Even to the national level, international level, we say, if a person kill or harm others, can they be sued and be jailed? Yes or no? If a person harm or kill, can they be sued or be jailed? Yes or no? Yes, right? If a person steal, can they also be sued and be jailed? Yes, also. If a person go after another person's wife or husband, can they be also sued? And then the next one, if they cheat, can also, right? And the last one, if they drink and drive, can they be jailed too? If they take intoxicants, drugs, also can be jailed, right? So is it just the Buddhists? So sometimes because a lot of people think, we are Buddhists, very ancient. Only Buddhists practice all this. Not true. So a lot of explanation is important. So that you can understand, so you can explain to your children. Sometimes your children think, you observe precepts, only the Buddhists do all this. apply only to Buddhists, very traditional Buddhists, is it? But not true. In order to live in harmony within one person, within a family, within a community, within a country, you need this principle of life. Right? So 5 precepts or 8 precepts is not just for the Buddhists, it's for all beings. Right? So virtue is very important. One, of course, you prevent the unwholesome action. Next, of course, everybody say they want better one, right? Anyone do want better one? Some people say, I don't steal, I don't do anything bad. What? Good enough. Good. Nobody says it's bad. Good. But do you want better? Most people will say, yes. Okay, if you want better, or you know that there's something greater that can actually complete a higher understanding, then from prevention from the unwholesome, we should do the wholesome. So you don't kill, then you also save life. Some people, very interesting, they do good. They say, oh, we go and release life. Now very fashionable, release life. Okay? But the thing is, they release, they're going to order 1,000, 2,000 fishes. Is that really release life? Actually, they are very free. Yeah? Now, because you want to release 1,000 or 2,000 birds or 1,000 or 2,000 fish, what happened to them? Are they free? Do you really save their life? But then they say, here they really start, go to seafood restaurant, oh, that one more fresh. I want that one. You see or not? First precept. At one end, you say you want to do good. But whether you really understand what is it mean by saving and release life. If you see that being really going to be killed, then you buy and save, that's fine. Okay? But don't go and order 1,000 and people have to go and catch, injure them. Maybe halfway they suffocated before you even release, they die. So we have to understand what we are doing. Save life, you can also park your money like somebody is very sick and they don't have money. Enough money to cure. If you have, maybe they need a lot, but you don't have a lot. But you can partake a little bit to also help the share. Yeah? So they can restore their life. That is how we save life. Yeah? So the practice we have to understand. Yeah? So prevention is very important, means restrain from, abstain from. Don't only do good, but yeah. And a lot of people sometimes they say, okay, they earn some through, let's say, what they call it, going through this unwholesome work, let's say, and they kill to earn, or maybe they gamble to earn, let's say. And then after that, they say, okay, then I donate money. So I know I do not so good. I earn money not so good. But then here I also donate. Good or not? Good. Who said donate bad? Good. Right? But they take karma into their hand because they are very good at calculation. They say, I do one bad. Now I do 3 times of good. Oh, I donate 3 times. I donate to school, I donate to hospital, I donate to sometime. So I do good 3 times. I only earn 1 time, I do wrong here. So 3 minus 1, I still win 2. So sometimes they take karma as like that. But do you think karma work that way? How does karma work? Okay, you do here 1 bad. Depending on the intensity, the length, the period, who, what, yeah, that it will take place. Right? Here, if you do 3, yes, also depending on the intensity, the length, the people involved or what happened, the intention. Yeah. So if this is very serious, yeah, this 3 may not be able to cover. It's not 3 minus 1. This one also will have its own cause and effect. This 3 will have its own cause and effect. So it doesn't mean 3 minus 1 and you think no more. Karma don't work that way. Understand? Cause, there will effect. So bad cause, bad effect. Good cause, good effect. So sometimes people, you see, in their life, you see, got ups and downs, right? Even one day also got ups and downs. Not whole life, you know. One day also you got ups and downs. Do you experience that? Sometimes of the time, happy only for 1 hour, but the whole day lousy. So good only for 1 hour. So we have to learn how to keep planting the good, right? So very important again. So when you reflect on your virtue, all the good things that you have done, the precept that you have kept, every day you reflect, today, I keep the precept very well. Today I've given the best gift to the world. So means you are given, whoever come to your life, your family members, your colleagues or whoever, that day you preserve, you keep the precept well. Means your speech, whatever you do, you keep the precept well. Means you don't either talk, you don't gossip, you don't talk harshly. So now, from now onwards, you check your list. Less and less and less SHIT. Okay? Until one day you don't know how to say that word because you understood fully. That is not a wholesome word. Especially English educated one. I know these few things very, very popular. But it's not wholesome word. Yeah. So after you can practice, then you also encourage other people not to say so. Because unwholesome word, really unwholesome. Yeah. Because it will hit the mind and then it will register that. Some people, just one word they keep for life. They are unhappy with you, you don't know why, but one word. One word can damage their life. They become not confident. Children sometimes, you don't know. You may scold them that one word, they keep in their heart. Then from there, they always operate from this subconscious word. They are not worthy, they are not able, so they become very inferior. So everything they want to do, they have fear. Because why? Sometimes children remember, you are always unlucky one. Have you heard? Don't say like that to them. I've heard one girl, she's a lawyer now. She said, my mom always tell me, I'm always unlucky. So whenever she gets something a bit only, I'm always unlucky. So when you have this mindset, subconscious in your mind, you operate your action, your behavior, the way you think, you are operating from there. So you will always see like how people, always lucky, you are unlucky. Every time you say you are unlucky, so unlucky lah. It's true. When you keep putting that into your mind, the action that you bring out is not going to be good. Because why? You're already operating from that subconscious mind. And you always don't have the confidence to make it real good. Because you think you are lack of something. Or you are victimized. So a lot of words we got to watch out. Okay? So virtue, like I say, 4th precept is very challenging. But it's very, very important. Yeah? And the rest, of course, every day, like I say, you reflect. So today, like I say, you keep your mind. When the mind is down, you must pump in all those nutrients to uplift. Yeah? And so then it can bring you calmness and happiness. Okay? So this is contemplation on the virtue. Then the next, the Buddha said, also you can contemplate, ponder on the devas. Devas, heavenly beings. When you remember or recall the mind, devas, how does that help in your upassata contemplation? You see, when you talk to elderly especially, And even young one, everybody thinks of heaven, right? Why people think of heaven? Happy, right? We don't know where is heaven, what is heaven, but we know heaven is happy. And what else about heaven? Huh? Peaceful? Some more? Huh? Beautiful. Heaven is beautiful, heaven is peaceful, heaven is happy. What else about heaven? When you think of heaven, how do you feel? Secure or not? Secure, huh? Forever and ever and ever. Happy, yeah? What else about heaven? Huh? Bright. Okay? So the Buddha said, when you contemplate, you bring to mind about devas. The Buddha told us that, the Deva realm, just talking about the nearest Deva realm to human, that is Chatu Maharajika Deva. You know how long is their life? Well, 100 years also, when think of death, also scared. Right? Chatu Maharajika Deva, their lifespan is this long. One day, one night in Chatu Maharajika Deva realm is 50 years human years. And they live 500 years. That long. Actually very easy to compare, I say, ant's life, how long? 1 month? 1.5 months? Mosquito life? Do you know there are beings that only live for a few hours, die already? Butterfly, some of them only 2 days to 5 days. They say, oh, beautiful, beautiful. 5 days later, gone. So is it suffering? Even dogs, 16 years the most. Compared to human, how many times they have to die to become dogs? At least 6-7 times. So human, we say about 100 years. So Devaram, the first very near to human one, 500 years times 50 years of human life. Above Chatumarajika Deva is Tawatingsa, Lord Saka. Chinese one we say Ting Kong. You know how long is the life? The Buddha said, 1 day, 1 night in Tawatingsa heaven is 100 years human life. So they live for 1,000 years. Okay? And then above Chatumarajika, Tawatingsa, then you have Yamadeva. Yamadeva, 1 day, 1 night, human world, 200 years. And they live for 2,000 years. Then above Deva is Tusita. Tusita, you know, the Buddha before coming to human world, is from Tusita world. 1 day, 1 night in Tusita heaven is first we said 50 years, then 100, then 200. Tusita is 400 years. Oh, what's the time? 11:50. Oh, so fast. Okay, so 1 day, 1 night in Tusita, 400 years human, and they live for 4,000 years. So that's how higher heaven. So you see, for the Buddha last time in Tusita heaven, so long years, then only come down. So that's why people say, go heaven, they think forever and ever lah. Yeah, but the Buddha, after the enlightenment, the Buddha said, so sorry lah, that one bukan forever and ever lah, still can come down. Very long, immeasurable, very difficult to measure, very long, but still not forever. So that's why the Buddha told us the way, how to be out from this cycle. So only the Buddha's teaching teaches how to get out, because that one still no guarantee. Nothing in the world here can give you money guarantee back, but Buddha give you this guarantee. If you follow his teaching, you can go beyond heaven. That is for sure, that you never come back to suffer. Right? So this is when you recall to mind the devas, yeah, heavenly state. The moment you even think about heaven, already happy. So that's why the Buddha said, when you recall the devas or heavenly beings, then you should recall, hey, how they become devas? How the deva becomes deva? Where they come from? The devas come from where? Human. What makes them to become deva? So you must know what to do. So because why? Now you look to yourself. Devas means, the Buddha say, devas, they have faith, conviction in the Buddha. Means in something good, something pure. Do you have? Yeah, you can say, oh, I have. So I'm also got the quality of deva already. Number two, the devas, the Buddha say also, they upkeep the morality very well. Means when they are human. So now you observe yourself, do you keep that well? If yes, already 0.2, you are signing up to heaven already. You got bank account there already. Third, the Buddha said also, as devas, previously what they do, they also do a lot of charity. Charity. Yeah? So charity, they do a lot of charity, because charity helps them to build up a lot of merits. And charity also helps them to unwind their ego. Yeah? So, third, charity. Do you also do a lot of charity? If yes, 3 points already. Fourth, the Buddha said also, they also listen to Dhamma. So, because why? When you listen to the Dhamma, you know the way how to do good. Then, fifth one, discernment, wisdom. To have wisdom. So when you have wisdom, you know, oh, this is wholesome, this is unwholesome. So do more wholesome, prevent the unwholesome from happening. You keep doing. So when you can recall, oh, Deva also do this, I'm also do this. And so if 5 points also there, then your bank account is active. Okay? So if you haven't activate, you better activate now. So don't only keep account in this worldly life. You must keep account up there. I have some stories that true stories that even now, there's one uncle, he shared with me. He nearly died. 3 times already he nearly died. And at one time, he is also a very nice uncle, practicing all this. And he shared with me, he don't share with other people, he shared with me, he told me, he said, you know, one time, he said, near death, he was traveling up, and as he traveling up, he saw like a temple, okay, and he was drawn to that house, temple, very serene temple, he said. He was drawn towards it, and he went in, and he felt the whole house actually empty, but very serene. Like temple, I mean from outside looks like temple, but it's in heaven. And then he go in, he said, as he go in, so serene that he wished to meditate. And he went into the middle of the center of the temple, and he was trying to sit down. As he was trying to sit down, suddenly this message came to his mind, not yet lah. He said he was sitting down, settling down to meditate. He said, not yet. Oh, he has to go back. I just feel so sad. So perfect, so beautiful, she said. Then he told me, Ayah, I'm not worried. I know where I'm going. Yeah. So yeah, still alive, 80 plus. I'm very happy. Very happy. So if you practice, you're not worried. Even my own mother also. Yeah. She also, someone can negotiate. She said, Deva come to her. And then she told them, wait, give me 2 years. She said, let me see, because we are trying to build a Bhikkhuni center. So my mom said, give me 2 years, so I will be able to see the center come up. So, and she used to tell me, say, luckily, we learn Dhamma. Without Dhamma, I say, a lot of people don't know. She said, without Dhamma, don't know the road to go up. I said, at least we know how to go up. So she's very happy, very confident. Yeah. So when we practice well, these are the ingredients. That's why the Buddha said, when you recall to mind devas, if in case we didn't end up in nirvana, but don't think that you end up in nirvana, you book 16,000, 32,000, you think you end up there, it's still on earth lah. You better sign properly up there, not on earth. Yeah? Okay? So, of course that helps you to remind you lah, but don't get, confused. The true nirvana is within you, and emulate the Buddha. And if we don't end up there, at least remember, day in, day out, the last moment also, aspire to follow, to practice the Buddha Dhamma. Then one day you should get there. Okay, so means when you reflect on devas, heaven, so you reflect what you have been doing, because what you do now will guarantee you. So then that's why the Buddha said, then you're happy. Because at that moment, your mind is, your defilement is being cleansed. Yeah? Because when you think about heaven, you're happy. When you think how they become devas, I also do leh. I also do charity, I also keep my precept well, I also listen to the Dhamma, and I also increasing my wisdom, doing what is good, and then reducing what is unwholesome. And always keep my mind, faith, with strong faith in the Buddha. Okay? So that is for how many points? We have Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, your virtue, and then contemplation of devas, and the last one, contemplation on arahants. So maybe later only sambung. Very fast, time fast, eh? 2 hours already. So this is how delightful Dhamma is, right? So you enlighten our mind how we can practice well, right? Okay, so I think we have to stop for lunch. Okay.